There we go. All right, happy Friday, everyone. It is our final Friday, our final day of September, actually, which is crazy. Time is just flying by. Go ahead, find a comfortable spot, seated position. And we'll start with a nice big deep breath in, nice cleansing breath. Inhale, reaching those arms up. And then exhale, letting them float down to your sides. Inhale up, nice deep cleansing breath. And exhale it out. Couple more of those. Inhale, lift. Nice cleansing breath. Exhale it out. One more time. Inhale, deep breath in. Bring your palms together, and as you exhale, just lower that right arm down and start to reach over to your right side. And then inhale, slowly come back up to the center, and exhale, lower that left arm and reach it over to the side. We're going to do that just a couple of times. Inhale and exhale, lower that right arm, reaching over. Find a little space in that side body this morning. Inhale and exhale. And you can take this at your own pace. Maybe moving a little slower, maybe moving a little bit faster. Inhale and exhale, up to you. Just sort of taking note of how your body's feeling this morning as we begin our workout. Let's do this one more time on each side, adding a little flow, a little movement to this. Maybe reaching a little bit further on that last one. And then just let go of that right arm and bring us into some shoulder rolls. And again, taking this moment before we really start to check in. Notice how you're feeling this morning. Without any judgment, just letting yourself be, and taking the next 50 minutes for you. Big shoulder rolls. Let's do one more. All right, then go ahead and take those hands behind you, lifting up the chest, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Maybe tilt that chin up and take your head back. Inhale, tuck the chin as you exhale, and just forward fold here. So just simply walking those hands out in front of you, relaxing your head. Inhale, you're going to slowly walk back up. Let's do that again. Exhale, take those hands behind you, opening up through the chest. Maybe that head comes back. Tuck that chin on your next inhale, and exhale, walk forward just one more time, forward fold. Nice and easy. And then inhale, slowly walk those hands up. And then exhale, placing those hands on the knees. We're going to create circles with our upper body. So you're going to imagine that you're sort of using your chest as a pencil, and you're going to draw a big circle. So we're going to start going to the front first, taking it to the right, back, left, and then start creating this circle movement. Start to wake up those muscles in our torso and upper body. So imagine that there's that pencil right at the top of your chest. You're making a big circle here. Just getting some movement in the body. Let's do one more in this direction. Okay, now we're going to switch directions. Go to the front, left this time, back and right, and start to create a nice big circle. Trying to exaggerate that circle, making it as big as you can, sort of pushing that chest forward and then pulling back on the back side of that circle. One more. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and come out of this position. We're going to go ahead and just extend those legs in front of us. Shake it out a little bit. And then we're going to bend our knees, placing our feet on the floor, hands behind us, and just a couple of windshield wipers to open those hips. Just going to drop the legs from right to left here. And they don't have to fall all the way down to the side. Maybe you notice your hips are a little tight this morning as you do this. So just very gently dropping them from side to side, right to left, just like we would on our back. All right, so we're gonna drop them over to the left side. So you're gonna look over to that left side. So you have your left leg in front of you. I'll face you all. Left leg in front of you and right leg behind you. Sort of in this S-sit position. And we're gonna extend that right arm up and over to get a little more of a stretch along that right side. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale and exhale, reaching over. 1 more time. And on that last time, we're just gonna hang out here and hold the stretch. You can lower to your elbows, hold the stretch. You should feel a huge stretch along the side of that body. Keeping your chest lifted here for just 1 more breath. And then go ahead and lower down to the floor and sort of reach towards the diagonal. Relax the head. Get maybe a little more of a stretch in that side body. You should feel that right on sort of the side part of your back, which is sometimes a hard place to stretch and sometimes gets tight if we sit all day. So hopefully you're feeling that stretch here. On your next inhale, you're just gonna walk your hands right in front of your legs. So coming back to the center. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly roll yourself up. So now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So this time, you're gonna take your right leg in front and your left leg behind, sort of creating an S shape or a pretzel shape. Left arm lifts this time, inhale, and exhale, reach it over. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, and exhale. 1 more breath. On that last one, you're gonna hang out here, so feel free to lower to your elbow or maybe on a block or a blanket. Hold this here, keeping your chest lifted for 1 more breath before we close that off. Inhale, now you're gonna rotate down to reach the floor. Exhale, just hold this here. You're almost reaching towards the diagonal. So you're right over your knee. Relax the head. Hold this for just a couple of breaths. One more breath here. And then on your inhale, slowly walk those hands to the front, just walking over. And then exhale, you slowly roll yourself back up. Perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna come to a tabletop position. So we're gonna get into those hips just a little bit more. So making sure that you have a mat or something soft here for your knees and for your hands. We're gonna start by lifting our right leg off the floor. And you can just relax your toes here. Now we're gonna imagine that, that your pen, your paintbrush, your pencil, whatever is on your knee. And so you're going to draw big circles with that. So big circles with your knee in one direction. Trying to keep your back nice and flat as you do this. Making those circles as big as you can. Do 1 more in the direction that you're going. And then I want you to switch directions of your circle and do a couple in that direction. So you can start with small circles, try to make them a little bit bigger. Without arching your back, you should feel all your muscles starting to warm up here as you do this. 1 more in this direction. And then slowly lower that knee, bring them a little bit wider, toes together, and just drop back into a child's pose for a moment. Relaxing that head in between your arms. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, slowly make your way back up to your tabletop. And then exhale, find it here. So nice and strong tabletop, you're balancing that cup of coffee or water or tea on your back. You're gonna lift your left leg now and start to create those circles. You're drawing with your knee. And your gaze is right in front of your fingertips on the floor. So this side for me is a little tighter, making my circles a little smaller. You're going to do one more in the direction you're going. And then I want you to switch directions. Trying to keep that back nice and flat. We'll add a little movement in our back in just a moment. Big circles, you're gonna do this one more time. All right, perfect, and then relax. Okay, so now we're gonna add some movement in our back with a traditional cat-cow. So as you inhale, you're gonna drop that belly, lift your chest. And then exhale, we arch. Round that spine, chin to chest. And then again, inhale. So really exaggerating this movement, sinking into the mat on this inhale. Good. Exhale, almost think of lifting away from it as you tuck your chin around your spine. And let's do that a couple more times. Inhale. Feel free to maybe move side to side here, make it your own. Exhale. And two more at your own pace. Moving my hips just a little bit here. And last one. Dropping the belly, really lifting that chest, looking up on that inhale, and exhale, tucking that chin. All right, go ahead and come back to child's pose. Sit on back, relax that forehead to the floor, hold that there. So we're gonna practice a little bit of a balance, excuse me, a little bit of balance pose down here. Take one more breath in your child's pose. All right, you're gonna slowly come back up to tabletop. Okay, so what we're gonna do is try to reach for our foot. We're gonna lift that right leg back up again. And you're gonna take your opposite arm, so your left hand, you can watch first. You're gonna reach around for your foot. Now you might not reach for the foot, that's okay. You don't have to actually grab it, but I want you to reach for it, lift up. We're gonna take it down and up and create a little bit of movement there. So go ahead and lift that right leg up. Take your left hand up as well. Reach around, try to grab your toes, your foot, maybe your pant leg, whatever you have. And then I want you to push your foot into your hand and lift that knee and leg a little bit higher. Keep your gaze straight down in front of you on that mat. So we're actually getting a really big stretch for our quads. We're opening up the front side of the body. Now inhale, just sort of lower, almost like you're doing cat-cow. Round the spine and exhale, lift up. And let's just try that 2 more times. So inhale, you're looking down, sort of rounding the spine, and then exhale, a little bit of arch, lift that leg. Try this 1 more time. Feel the whole body warm up here. Exhale, lift. Hold this here, lift that knee, press into your hand, and then slowly release. Perfect. You can go ahead and sit back, child's pose. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Hold it for a couple of breaths. It's almost like the dancer's pose, but on the floor. We're just working into our back, stretching out our quads. 1 more breath in child's pose, and then we'll try it on the other side. I'll face this way so you can see me. All right, go ahead and come back up. And again, if you wanted to take a look at my screen first, you're lifting your left leg this time. You reach your right arm, reach it around and grab it. And this is what we're trying to do, okay? So go ahead and lift that leg. Take that right arm up, reach it around, reaching for your foot, your pant leg, your toes. And then go ahead and hold this here. What I want you to do is push your hand, your foot into your hand, lift up a little bit higher, lift the knee. So even if you aren't reaching and grabbing your toes, you're lifting that leg up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, slowly lower down, bring that knee to the floor. Exhale, lift back up. This is the tricky part, adding that movement. Try 2 more times, inhale. And then exhale. Try it 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale, hold this last one, pressing into your foot. Lift that chest. And then slowly release. Ooh, big stretch for that back. Go ahead and sit on back into your child's pose. And then release that head down. Good job. Take a couple breaths here. Maybe shift that weight from side to side. Take one more breath in your child's pose before we stand up. And then slowly lift yourself back up. We're gonna find downward facing dog here. So you're gonna take those legs back, tuck your toes, lift your hips way up. Start to pedal out your heels, pressing them down, really pressing your chest towards your thighs here. I want you to nod your head yes, shake your head no. Take a couple of breaths in your down dog. If for any reason this does not feel good, you can lower those knees to the floor and do a supported down dog. Take one more breath. On your next inhale, you're going to float into a plank position. So you're going to stack your shoulders right on top of your wrists. Your gaze is in front of your toes. You're in a nice strong plank. You can lower one knee here, maybe lower both knees. We're going to hold it for just a couple more breaths. So press through those heels, lift those knees, tuck those hips under, squeeze your glutes a little bit, and then exhale, lower the knees. So keep that nice flat back, lower the chest. So you land right on top of those fingertips. Keep your elbows in, flatten your toes. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. And then exhale, lower and retuck those toes, pressing up and back. So now we're just working our upper body and core a little bit, building that strength, building the heat. Let's do that again. Inhale forward to your plank. Holding this here. Nice strong plank position. We don't want those hips lower than our shoulders. We want them right at about that shoulder height. Exhale, knees and chest. Elbows go straight back. Keep them close to your side. Flatten your toes. Inhale, lift away from the floor. Keep that chin down. Squeeze those back muscles. And exhale, lower. Retuck the toes. Come on back up. Now I'm just going through this really slowly. You can stick with this pace and speed, or you can choose to maybe go a little faster. We'll do it one more time through. So we'll do it nice and slow so we focus on our form. So inhale to your plank. Keeping those legs straight, tuck those hips under. Exhale, knees and chest. So you want to lower right on top of those fingertips. Elbows are back. You're in towards your rib cage. Flatten your toes. Inhale, lift baby cobra. And then exhale, retuck the toes. Let's come on back, down dog. So down dog or child's pose. Take just a couple of breaths there before we come up to standing. So now you should be nice and warm. Take 2 more breaths in your child's pose or down dog. And then on your next inhale, you're going to bend your knees. As you exhale, you're going to walk, hop, or jump, come to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Hang out in your forward fold for a couple of breaths. Bend your knees here as much as you need to get close to the floor. You're going to grab those elbows, gently sway side to side, like a rag doll. Relax your head completely here. Release those arms, and on your next inhale, you're going to come up to standing. Take those arms out to the side. Very slowly bring it up on your inhale. Nice and tall. You're going to bring your hands together up at the top as you exhale and lower down the heart center. All right, let's get moving here. Go ahead and take an inhale, reach those arms up, nice and tall. And then exhale, you're gonna swan dive forward and float all the way down. Let's look up halfway, find a flat back. Hands come to your knees or maybe your shins, but a nice flat back, just like this bench here. So think of lifting your chest, pulling your shoulder blades together. And I want you to really press into your heels so you feel that stretch behind the legs. And then exhale, you're gonna go ahead and lower. Let's start by stepping that right leg back. And we're gonna lower that right knee to the floor, flatten that foot, and just come into a low lunge. Reaching those arms up, inhale, and exhale, hold. Nice low lunge, getting into that hip flexor. Again, making sure that you have some support for your knees down here. Looking down, making sure your hip, knee, ankle are in a nice straight line. Go ahead and pull those elbows down. You're gonna find cactus pose. As you inhale, you're gonna lean forward a little bit and bring your elbows together. And as you exhale, you're gonna pull them apart. Open up through the chest. Let's just try that 2 more times. Inhale. Think of a doorway stretch. Exhale, pull those elbows apart. Try it 1 more time. Inhale together. And then exhale, pull them apart. Hold this right here. Cactus pose. So you're sort of in that 90-degree angle with those elbows. Inhale, extend those arms up. And exhale, take those hands down. You're going to go ahead and tap that back toe. You're going to lift that knee off the floor. You're going to take a big step with your foot back to meet your other foot. We're going to come into chair. So you're going to drop those hips and lift those arms up. Find your chair pose. Now, if you start to feel your back arching a little bit, think of tucking those hips under, and maybe those hands come to prayer for you instead of all the way up. Holding this chair, sending those arms. Let's hold this for just 1 more breath. Everyone bring your hands back to prayer. As you inhale, you're gonna lift up, lift that right leg off the floor. And as you exhale, you're gonna take a big step back into high lunge. So step it all the way back, high crescent lunge. This time we stay off the floor, extend those arms up as you inhale and exhale, hold. Nice high lunge, dropping those hips, extending those arms. 1 more breath here. As you inhale, you're gonna slowly lower those hands. Now, as you exhale, you're actually gonna rotate to face the front. You can watch my screen. You're gonna drop those heels down and actually come into a wide-legged stretch. So your feet were wide from that lunge. Now your hands are reaching for the floor, wide-legged stretch. You could even use a block right here if you wanted to. So I'm using my block. Big stretch for those hamstrings. Relax the head. Hold this here for a couple of breaths. The goal is to get those hands flat on the floor. Now on your next breath, you're gonna go ahead and plant your right hand onto the floor, just your right one. And as you exhale, your left elbow is gonna come up to a twist, and then you're gonna extend it. Look up towards the sky, almost that triangle pose, extend that arm. We're gonna hold this for a couple breaths. If that left arm doesn't extend all the way, you can take your hand to your hip and still encourage that twist in this pose. So again, I'm using that block. Keep twisting over that left shoulder. Still feeling that stretch in the back of the legs. Hold for 1 more breath. Inhale, take that hand back down. As we exhale, we're gonna go over to lunge on the other side. So you're gonna walk over to that right side. You're gonna find that lunge. You're gonna lower that left knee to the floor, flatten that foot, and we're gonna do our sequence from the top here on the other side. So reach the arms up as you inhale, and exhale, you're finding your low lunge. You're now on the other side. Hold this here. Looking down, hip, knee, ankle, make sure it's all in a nice straight line. We're gonna get ready for the cactus arms in just a moment. As you exhale, slide those elbows down, finding that cactus pose. Inhale, lean forward slightly, bring your elbows together, and then exhale, open them up. Imagine you're in a doorway here. 2 more times. You have to really brace your core here. Think of tucking those hips under or wearing a tight belt around your waist, drawing that navel in towards your spine. Here's your last one. Hold this for a few breaths, squeezing your shoulder blades together and taking that gaze up. Inhale, extend those arms up, and exhale, those hands come down. So we're gonna get ready to step to that chair pose. Tuck that back toe, lift your knee off the floor. We're in a nice low lunge, and you're gonna step to the front, finding that chair pose. Keeping those legs low, drop the hips, and lift those arms. Or maybe hands at prayer. So remember, hips down, chest is up slightly. We don't want that arch in that back, so tucking those hips under. Good, to engage those core muscles while you're here. Maybe drop an inch lower. One more breath. Everyone bring your hands to prayer. Inhale, lift. That left leg lifts up. Exhale, we step back for high lunge. Big, big step back. Extend those arms up. Hold this right here. Nice high lunge, dropping those hips. You want your back leg straight. Inhale, slowly take those hands to the floor. And as we exhale, we're gonna walk back towards the center and come back into our wide-legged stretch. Using a towel, blocks, whatever you had, if you're not quite reaching the floor. Hold for a couple breaths. Remember, bringing the floor to meet you where you're at. No need to struggle to get into any of these poses. Take one more breath, pressing through those heels. And then inhale, we just place our left hand on the floor. And exhale, we extend that right arm up for our twist on the other side. This side's a little tighter, so I'm keeping my hand at my hip, just like in triangle pose, right? Adding that twist, looking over that shoulder, up at the sky, up at the ceiling. Hold it for a couple breaths. I just want to come check in. So every exhale, nice, good, Teresa. You're adding that twist. Nice, good, Mindy. Extending that arm up. Beautiful. And keep thinking of pressing your heels into the floor. Deep breaths here. No rush. Keep twisting. You're going to take one more deep breath wherever you're at. Inhale, go ahead and take that hand down. And exhale, just relax right here. Maybe get a little bit deeper. One more breath. And then inhale, we're going to walk back over to that first side that we started on. So we have our left leg in front, right leg behind us. We're going to come into that low lunge. Inhale, reach those arms up. And exhale, you're in your high crescent lunge. So we're going to add a little bit of movement here. Inhale, you lift a little higher. And on your exhale, you're going to pull those elbows down to your cactus. I'm going to show you from the front. We're going to do it a couple times. So inhale, lift, and exhale, pull down. Good. 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. 1 more time. Inhale, up. And exhale. Find your lowest lunge here, pulling those elbows together. Hold this right here. We have that chair pose coming up. So we did this instead of that low lunge. Inhale, reach those arms up. And then exhale, you're going to slowly take those hands down. And then you're going to step to the front for your chair pose. Drop the hips, lift those arms, hold chair pose. Hold this right here. 1 more breath. You're going to bring those hands together. We're going to add a little layer. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher. As you exhale, drop those hips. We're going to twist over that right shoulder. So adding another twist here in that chair pose. Look down at your knees. Make sure they're in one straight line. Right? Readjust those hips if they aren't. We're going to add a little extra challenge here. So take a look at my screen. Continue to hold your chair, or maybe you take a quick break. You're going to step that other leg back into your lunge while you're in this chair in that twist. So if you're looking over your right shoulder, it's going to be your left leg. Go ahead and step it back. Find that high lunge again. Keep twisting here. Maybe you lower that knee. Keep twisting. You can anchor that elbow on your knee, but you want your hips down, chest up. So I don't want to see hips up here, right? Twist for one more breath. I know this is tricky. And then inhale, step back if you came out to your lunge. Inhale, extend those arms up. And exhale, bring them down. Lift your right leg up. Come back to your lunge. Step it on back. Reach up, inhale. And exhale, take those hands down. We're going to go back to our wide-legged stretch. Walk it back. So now you're feeling a little more stretched out. Placing your right hand to the floor. Inhale. And exhale, we add that reach and twist. So hopefully this time you're finding a little more space. Hold that right there. Take one more breath, and then we're going to go to the other side. Inhale, take that hand down. Exhale, reach and twist. Lift that right arm. Pressing those heels into the floor. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, one more time on this side. Extend through that left arm. We're going to hold this for just a couple breaths. Big twist here. Extend that arm all the way up. Stacking that hand on top of your shoulder. And then inhale, take that hand down. Exhale, let's walk over and frame our other foot. For this nice low lunge. Inhale, reach those arms up. And exhale, hold. Inhale, you're going to lift up a little bit higher. As you exhale, pull those elbows down for your cactus. A couple more times. Inhale and exhale. So just adding a little bit of movement here. Up and down, tucking those hips under. Two more. Inhale and exhale. Open the chest. One more. Inhale and exhale. Maybe you take a little mini back bend here. Take your gaze up. One more breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. You're going to step to your chair pose. Bring that foot in, drop the hips, lift those arms, and hold that chair. So we have this layer coming up with that twist. Hold your chair for one more breath. Inhale, take those hands to prayer. You can lift up a little bit, give your legs a little bit of a stretch. Exhale, come back to chair. And now you're twisting over your left shoulder. So don't worry about anchoring that elbow. It does not have to get there. Start with your twist first, like you're wringing out a towel. Hold this here. If you want that extra challenge without moving anything else in your body, it's going to be your right leg that steps back into that lunge. So try that here if you want. Maybe get a little deeper in that stretch. Maybe that elbow anchors, maybe it doesn't. Wherever you're at, I want you to hold for two more breaths. Maybe you're on the knee. One more breath. If you're in the lunge, step back to chair. Inhale, and then exhale nice and tall. Extend those arms. And then go ahead and lift that left leg off the floor. Knee up. We come back to our high lunge. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Arms lift. And then exhale, lower. One last time in wide-legged pose. Walk it over. Press that left hand into the floor. Inhale. And exhale, reach and twist with that right. Big twist here, pressing into those heels, lifting that chest. Inhale down, exhale, reach and twist other side. Big twist. One more. Inhale and exhale, left arm. So we'll stay here for a few extra breaths. Maybe that hand on your hip, or maybe the arm completely extended. Take two more deep breaths. Maybe you bring your feet a little wider. Press those heels into the floor. Inhale, take that hand down. As we exhale, we're going to come up a little bit differently. Take both hands to your hips. Find a flat back. Push into your heels. Inhale and slowly bring yourself up and lift the chest. Nice and slow. So nice flat back here. Nice and easy. Perfect. And you're going to go ahead and toe heel your feet together. So toes and heels, bring them in. Perfect. Come all the way to center. Inhale, reach those arms up. And exhale to swan dive forward, coming into a nice forward fold. Hang out here for a couple breaths. Bend those knees as much as you need to here. And then inhale, take those arms back up. Arms all the way up. As we exhale, take your hands to prayer, lower down. We're gonna come into a tree pose balance. So we're gonna open up that right hip first. Nice and tall, your standing legs slightly bent. You can take that foot on the floor or lift it up. Place it by your ankle, your shin, or your inner thigh. Just not right on top of your knee joint. So nice and tall, think of squeezing those glutes. Zipping up a tight pair of pants. Holding this here. So you want to focus on one thing in front of you that will help keep that balance. Maybe you extend those arms up. And maybe those branches sway in the wind or rain. Keeping your focus. You're going to hold this here for just a few more seconds. Once you think of lifting up a little bit taller. So not sinking into that floor. Lift up a little bit taller, lift that chest, find more length in your spine. And then slowly bring those hands back to prayer. Now we're gonna go into another balance right after this. You're gonna bring that knee to your chest, inhale, and then exhale, you're gonna hinge back for a warrior three. So we're staying on that same leg, and you're just extending straight back to that warrior three. Back leg is straight. You can extend those arms by your side like you're flying. I'm just going to show you from the side. So I know we're really working that standing leg. Warrior three, hip bones facing the floor. Arms by your side, lift that leg. Flex that foot. Can you hold it for 2 more breaths? Nice flat back. 1 more breath. Hands back to prayer, bend that knee. Inhale, bring it back up to your chest. And exhale, you're gonna lower and shake it out. Woo, good job. So let's stretch out that leg before we go to the other side. So for this, it's another balance. You could use the wall if you'd like. You're gonna take that ankle up and over your knee, pretzel stretch. I'm just gonna sit into this stretch here. So make sure you're stretching out your standing leg, the one that was doing most of the work. So a little extra balance with our stretch. We'll do more stretching on the floor as well at the very end. Slowly come back up. Just circle out that ankle, shake it out. Same thing on the other side. First taking an inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Let it go. Hang out here for a breath or 2. And then inhale, take it up. Nice deep breath. Bring your palms together. Exhale, lower to heart center. Find that focus, open up your left hip. Get ready for tree pose on the other side. So go ahead and keep maybe your toes on the floor, or place that foot by your ankle or your shin or your inner thigh. Remember, you want to open up from the hips first, and then find that foot placement. Think of tucking those hips under. Squeezing your glutes just a little bit. We're finding length here, nice and tall. Excuse me, when you're ready, extend those arms. Maybe add a little movement. If you fall out of it, just get right back into it. So hold wherever you're at for a couple more breaths. Your standing leg, there's a small micro bend there. Lift that chest, lift a little taller. Maybe close your eyes. Ooh, that's a little bit harder. Try that challenge. Oh gosh, that was really hard. Maybe close your eyes or take your gaze up for a moment. And then inhale, bring those hands back to prayer. Exhale, lift that foot up and a little bit higher. 1 more breath, inhale. And then exhale, try to transition right to that warrior three. I know it's tricky. Right to that warrior three, pressing through that foot. Imagine you're pressing your foot up against a wall here. And then extend those arms back like you're flying. Hold it right there. And then come check in. So nice straight, see how straight that back leg is. You're making that letter T shape with your body. And just come check in. Couple more breaths. Fell out of it, just get right back into it. Maybe you want to practice standing half moon, whatever you'd like here. Nice, you got Teresa, good job. Good, Mindy, lift. Squeeze those glutes, try one more breath. Lift that leg a little higher and then inhale, hands to prayer, bend that knee. Exhale, bring it up and lower it down. Woo, good job. Let's stretch that out. Take that other ankle up and over. Hands in prayer, sit back for this pretzel stretch. It's your last little balance challenge. And then slowly release and shake it out. Great job. Go ahead and come right to the top of that mat. Take an inhale, reach up, and exhale, let it go. Let's do this floor flow just one final time. Step back, find downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to your plank. And take it just nice and slow. Exhale, knees and chest. Chaturanga. Flatten those toes. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. Exhale, push back into child's pose. Sit on back. Knees wide, feet together. Find a nice child's pose. Take a couple breaths right here. Maybe shift your weight side to side. So we're going to get into those hips and glutes a little bit more of our next stretch. We're going to come into pigeon pose. If that doesn't feel good on your knees, you'll do that standing pretzel stretch that we did on your back. So go ahead and lift up. Let's find down dog to transition to pigeon. And you're going to lift your left leg off the floor. Inhale, and then exhale. Bend that knee and take it to the top of your mat. Lower it down on your back leg. And then when you're ready, you can lower onto your elbows here, or even your blocks. And get a little deeper stretch into those hips. Remember, the alternative is on your back in that pretzel stretch, that figure four. You feel this in those hips and your glutes. You can even do this same stretch in your chair, seated. And then when you're ready, you're going to switch sides. So just gently come up if you're doing that pigeon. And gently press back to down dog. And you're just going to switch sides, switch legs. If you're on your back, same thing. Just switch that ankle that's crossing over your knee. When you're in pigeon, if you're ready, lower down to your elbows. If you're on your back, you can pull those legs a little closer into your chest. And then slowly come out of that. So pigeon pose, we're going to meet everyone on their back. So go ahead and slowly come back to down dog. Lower those knees and swing those legs around. And everyone's going to be on their back. Once you're there, you're going to hug your knees into your chest. And you're going to gently rock side to side. Circle your ankles, wiggle your toes here. Relax the head. We're going to come into a spinal twist. You're going to extend those arms out, make the letter T. Drop your legs over to the left side. All the way to the left, look over your right shoulder. Hold for a couple of breaths. And slowly coming back to the center, inhale. Take your time there. Exhale, you're going to drop your legs over to the right. Look all the way over that left shoulder. Hold for a few breaths. Inhale slowly back to the center. Exhale, lower those feet. We're going to do the windshield wipers that we did in the very beginning. So just dropping those legs from side to side, keeping your feet on the floor. Then we're going to come into a bridge. So you can hold this bridge or maybe place a block under your hips for a supported bridge. It's up to you. Arms down by your side, feet are hip distance. This should be just right under your knees. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, you're gonna press your feet into the floor, tuck those hips and lift your hips a little bit higher. Lift them off the mat, not too high. Inhale, slowly lower down, and exhale, lift back up. One more time, inhale, slowly lower. This is the one that we're gonna hold for a couple breaths. Exhale, lift up, and you're gonna hold here. Maybe slide a block under your hips, maybe interlace your hands under your hips. Pull those arms under, a little extra challenge. Hold this here for a couple more breaths. And then very slowly start to lower one vertebrae at a time until your hips reach the mat. You can do another pair of windshield wipers here if that feels good. And then I actually want us to end with legs up the wall. So try to get close to any kind of wall. If you're not close to a wall at all, maybe you can extend your legs on a couch, sofa, an ottoman. You don't have any of those things, you could do this without the wall. What you want to do is scooch all the way up to your wall and extend your legs straight up. Just a nice hamstring stretch. So you could do this without the wall. You could sit on top of the block and just let your legs extend up without the support. If you have that wall, scoot all the way up or as close as you can, walk those feet up, and then maybe extend those arms overhead if that feels good. Try to straighten those legs as much as you can. It also just gives our feet a little bit of a break. So we don't have all that blood flowing to our feet. Give them a little rest here, and just close your eyes. Hold this for a couple breaths. Maybe legs straight up doesn't feel good. You could even come into maybe a butterfly shape with your legs. You could bend your knees. Whatever feels good here. And just take one more final breath in this inversion. And then very slowly, if those arms are overhead, bring them back towards your side. Start to bend your knees and walk those feet down the wall. And then you can just gently roll over to your side. We're going to end in just a final relaxation pose. So whatever that is for you, you can come onto your back once more. Maybe a child's pose is going to feel good for you. Maybe you hang out in your inversion, legs up the wall. Go ahead and just close your eyes for just our final moment of class here. Take one more cleansing breath. Let it all go. Slowly start to move your head from side to side. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Give yourself one last hug. Pull your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Roll over to one side, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe a couple shoulder rolls once you're at the top, or a little twist over each side. And then inhale, we're gonna reach those arms all the way up together. Exhale, let it go. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale up and exhale 1 last time. Our palms come together on the exhale here. And we'll lower them down to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Honor this time that you made for yourself, for your body, your mind, your spirit. Expressing gratitude for making the time to be here. And hopefully continuing to make that time for ourselves each and every day. And then we'll open our eyes and we'll say namaste to one another. Namaste. Thank you all. Happy Friday. Happy almost October. Fall. All my favorite things. Hope you are feeling better and have a wonderful rest of your day and weekend.
Thanks, Ellen.